Hello again from Kingston, Ontario, Canada. In a previous video, I showed you how to start fishing for ancestors as you start to explore Ancestry Library Edition. Fishing for ancestors is fun, but you can quickly get overloaded with names, dates, and documents. Because you can't build your family tree on Ancestry Library Edition as you would be able to on the commercial site, you'll need a way to keep track of what you've found and figure out what you want to search next. In this video, I'm going to tell you one simple way to keep track of what you've found. If you decide to get serious about your genealogy research, you'll probably want to download or buy a genealogy program for your computer. I'll talk about that in another video. But even if you use that kind of software to build your family tree, you'll need a set of files and folders for storing your documents. Please be aware that this is just my own way of doing it. You may find another way works better for you, and that's totally fine. In the description box below, you'll find links to some short YouTube videos about other methods. But no matter which method you choose, just be consistent with it. So my basic strategy is to make a separate folder for each couple on the family tree. I label the folder with the name of the husband and then the maiden name of the wife. For example, my grandfather was Cecil Roberts and he married Anne Campbell, so I label this folder Roberts Campbell. Then all the documents about Cecil and Anne and their children get filed in that folder, with one big exception, which I'll tell you about in a minute. So you can use this system with paper files and folders like this, or in a 3-ring binder like this, or on your computer like this. So in the Roberts Campbell folder, I put Cecil and Anne's marriage record, the births, baptisms, and graduations of their children, and all the documents I collect about this family group until the end of Cecil and Anne's lives. But here's the big exception I mentioned. The documents about Cecil and Anne's children will only file in this folder until a child gets married. At that point, a new folder is created for the new marriage or partnership. For example, Cecil's son, Ron Roberts, married Rita Scott, so I make a new folder called Roberts Scott, and all documents about that family group file in that folder until their children form their own family groups, and so on and so on. So back to the example of my grandfather Cecil Roberts, who married Anne Campbell on December 22, 1928. In the Roberts Campbell folder, we put that marriage record and all the records of that family group until Cecil's death in 1986. But if I find a record about Cecil that was created before he got married, say his birth registration or a school record, it goes into his parents' folder. Gramps' dad was William James Roberts, and he married Lydia Wiley, so I label another folder, Roberts Wiley, and into that I put the birth registration and school record for Cecil. And if I find Cecil's name on a 1921 census record, it goes into his parents' folder, Roberts Wiley. It wouldn't matter if Cecil was actually living with his parents when the record was created. Even if the census record showed him in another household far away from where his parents lived, as long as he was still a bachelor, I would put that census record in his parents' folder. The filing system doesn't have to reflect his actual life situation. It's just a simple system for figuring out where to put all the documents you're collecting without having to create a lot of extra copies, which means extra work and often extra confusion. So with this system, you always know where to file a document and where to look for it. A couple of other important items go into these folders. For each family, you'll want to have a pedigree chart and a family group sheet. These are the most basic tools for keeping track of your research, and I'll tell you more in an upcoming video. So if you've got a nice big overwhelming stack of documents and notes about your ancestors, either on paper or on your computer, this is one way to get things under control. Sort your documentation into folders couple by couple. As you continue to explore Ancestry Library Edition, remember to stop every now and then and put your newest finds into the folders, whether they're on paper or in 3-ring binders or on your computer. Please remember that the system I've just described is not the only way to keep track of your discoveries. The important thing is to have some kind of simple and workable system, and to handle your documents and images the same way every time. You'll be able to find what you're looking for, and it will be easier to decide what you want to look for next. If you think fishing for ancestors is fun, and let's face it, it is, then using a targeted search to solve a mystery or to fill a gap in your family tree is even more fun. I'll tell you more about that in another video. Meanwhile, take care, stay well, and we'll catch up with you again soon.